Again, I find this line of questioning extraordinarily disappointing,
Is that a
Senator.
no?
That
Or
you
yes?
you have Arab American constituents that you represent
is
in
that
your great state.
Yes, ma'am, I understand that, but my time's limited, and I apologize, but is that a yes or a no?
Yes or no question to do I support Hezbollah? The answer is I don't support violence, whether it's Hezbollah, Hamas, or any other entity that invokes it.
You can't
So
bring
no,
yourself to say no, can you?
No, I can say no. I can say yes.
But
What
you
I can
haven't.
say is
You just
your
can't
line
make
of
yourself do
questioning.
it. Do you
Senator.
support or oppose Iran and their hatred of Jews?
Again, I'm going to emphasize Iran, Hezbollah, Hamas, none of them is going to, this discussion.
You can't bring yourself to say no, can
Sir,
you?
I don't support.
It's real simple.
Excuse me, I'm going to,
Ian,
if I may, as a Muslim woman, sir, I'm going to tell you I do not support Iran.
Hello, Patriots. Today, we're ripping back the curtain and exposing the insidious threats to America's core freedoms and how we, the true defenders of liberty, can fight back. For too long, the radical left has been chipping away at everything we hold dear, undermining our values, and bending the truth to fit their dangerous agenda. Are you fired up? Are you ready to reclaim our nation from those who seek to redefine it? Then do me a favor right now. Smash that subscribe button, hit the like button, drop a comment letting me know where you're watching from, and most importantly, watch until the very end, because what you're about to hear on Signal 76 isn't just news. It's critical insight that will arm you with the unvarnished truth, empowering you to stand shoulder to shoulder with us in this fight for the soul of America.
And according to your website, you're also, I'm going to quote here, a longtime Democratic Party activist who served as a member of the 2016 Democratic National Convention's Platform Standing Committee, close quote. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. You support Hamas, do you not?
Senator, oddly enough, I'm going to say thank you for that question because it demonstrates the purpose of our hearing today in a very effective way.
Let's start first with a yes or no.
Hamas is a foreign terrorist organization that I do not support, but you asking the executive director of the Arab American Institute that question very much puts the focus on the issue of hate in our country.
Well, I got your answer, and I appreciate it. What is the, you support Hezbollah too, don't you?
Again, I find this line of questioning extraordinarily disappointing,
Is that a
Senator.
no?
That
Or
you have Arab American constituents that you represent in your great state.
Yes, ma'am, I understand that, but my time's limited, and I apologize, but is that a yes or a no?
Yes or no question to do I support Hezbollah? The answer is I don't support violence, whether it's Hezbollah, Hamas, or any other entity that invokes it.
You can't
So
bring
no,
yourself to say no, can you?
No, I can say no. I can say yes.
But
What
you
I
haven't.
can say is
You just
your
can't
line
make
of
yourself do
questioning.
it. Do you
Senator.
support or oppose Iran and their hatred of Jews?
Again, I'm going to emphasize Iran, Hezbollah, Hamas, none of them is going to, this
you
discussion.
can't bring yourself to say no, can
Sir,
you?
I don't support.
It's real simple.
Excuse me. I'm going to,
Ian,
if I may, as a Muslim woman, sir, I'm going to tell you I do not support Iran. But what I will tell you is that this conversation.
I'm running out of time. I'm
Okay.
sorry. You called our decision to cut funding. You called our decision to cut fund. Well, first, what's the United Nations Relief and Works Agency?
It's UNRWA, which is the institution that exists to provide services and aid to the nearly 6 million Palestinian refugees.
And you called our decision to cut funding for them, quote, an incredible moral failure, close quote.
That is absolutely correct. But again, I would suggest that conversation is about foreign policy.
We did that because 9 UNRWA staff members were fired for actually helping Hamas on October 7th. Isn't that the case?
I don't believe that that's correct in terms
Let me ask you one more time. You support Hamas, don't you? You support UNRWA and Hamas, don't you?
Sir,
Please.
I think it's exceptionally disappointing that you're looking at an Arab American witness before you and saying you support Hamas.
You know what's disappointing to me?
I do not support Hamas.
You can't bring yourself
I do
to
not
say
support Hamas
you don't
or
support UNRWA. You don't support Hamas. You don't.
I was very
support
clear in my support for
Hezbollah,
UNRWA.
and you don't
I
support
oppose-
Iran. You should hide your head in a bag.
Now, let's dive into something that should send chills down the spine of every red-blooded American patriot. We've been dissecting the testimony of a longtime Democratic Party operative and Arab American activist who sat on the 2016 Democratic National Convention's Platform Committee. This isn't some fringe voice. This is someone deeply embedded in the establishment of the very party that holds so much power in Washington. And when directly confronted with a simple, yet profoundly important question, do you support Hamas? Her response, or lack thereof, was absolutely chilling. She hemmed and hawed, only vaguely disavowing violence from any entity, lumping terrorist organizations like Hamas and Hezbollah with what? Exactly? Is this the kind of moral clarity we demand from those shaping our nation's policies? This isn't about nuance. It's about drawing a line in the sand against pure evil. A true American patriot has no trouble condemning barbaric terrorists who murder innocent civilians. Her hesitation, her inability to unequivocally denounce these groups speaks volumes. It begs the question, what exactly are they trying to hide? And the outrage doesn't stop there. This same activist had the audacity to call the decision to cut funding for UNRWA, that's the United Nations Relief and Works Agency, an incredible moral failure. A moral failure, she says. Let's be crystal clear about why that funding was cut. It wasn't some arbitrary decision. It was because 9 UNRWA staff members were caught red-handed, allegedly involved in helping Hamas. Let that sink in. 9 employees of an organization funded by American taxpayers were aiding a foreign terrorist organization. This isn't a moral failure on our part. It's a moral imperative to cut off every single dollar that could possibly fall into the hands of those who despise everything America stands for. The radical left wants to portray this as a lack of compassion. But what about compassion for the victims of terror? What about compassion for our own national security? This isn't about hate, as she desperately tried to frame it. It's about holding people accountable and ensuring that our hard-earned tax dollars are never, ever used to enable those who seek to harm us. The sheer disappointment she expressed at the line of questioning, focusing on hate, is a classic deflection tactic. When you can't defend your position, you attack the premise of the question. But we, the Patriots of Signal 76, aren't falling for it. We know what we stand for. We stand for freedom, for individual liberty, for American exceptionalism, and for the defiance of tyranny in all its forms. We are the backbone of this nation, the silent majority that is now roaring to life. We must stand united against this kind of doublespeak, against the corrosive forces trying to erode our traditional principles. We must expose those in power who fail to uphold their duty to protect American interests. This is more than just politics. This is a cultural battle for the soul of our nation. We must defend our values, secure our borders, and protect our way of life from both external enemies and those who seek to undermine us from within. Don't let them divide us with their identity politics and their divisive rhetoric. Don't let them silence us with their cancel culture and their accusations. Our voices are strong, our resolve is unwavering, and our truth is undeniable. Stand with Signal 76. Share this video far and wide, awaken your friends and family. And together, we will not just push back, we will make America strong and free again. We will win this fight.